Auburn is still dancing, headed to the Sweet 16.
Johnson goes to deny, step back, big play for the...
It's got you here.
Jones doesn't go, the tip by Broome. Up ahead, Harper,
oh! Hello and welcome to this episode of War Eagle Weekly. How we doing, Josh?
We doing pretty good. I mean, we're winning basketball games, so we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, no, this episode feels a lot better than the same time last year. Coming off of the Yale loss, it was pretty drab. But both of us are feeling pretty good about things right now, and pretty much the whole Auburn fan base is feeling pretty good right now. But before we jump into it, Josh, let's remind everybody. If you were looking for some new Auburn swag, including the new Sweet 16 gear that is available, use our affiliate link below. Go to fanatics.com and use our affiliate link. Help us out a little bit. We get a little bit on the back end if you do. But Josh, we got a lot to talk about, so let's just dive right into it. So our first game of the tournament was everyone's Cinderella hopeful Alabama State in the first round. And for a little bit there, it felt a little iffy.
It did in the first half. It was a little rough. I mean, we went into halftime with a 10-point lead. It did not feel like your normal brand of Auburn basketball. And then after halftime, it's still only a 10-point half, but they still weren't able to gain any ground on us, and our guys were hitting shots and getting our rebounds. And so, I mean, a W is a W, especially in the first round, especially after last year in the first round. I mean, a W is a W. That's all I really care about. Miles Kelly had himself a friggin' night, and it could have been better, but at the end of the day, we came out on top.
And it gave a lot of us a little bit more confidence with Cheney Johnson. He ended up getting back in there and scored double digits for Auburn and really was a spark plug. It kind of felt a little bit like the Vandy game where until he came in, it was kind of lackluster. And then once he really started imposing his will, things kind of got better. It seemed like everybody out there was just kind of like the game plan was, oh, we have better athletes. Let's just not show anything, none of our plays, and let's just play basketball and we'll beat them. And Alabama State really proved that you're going to have to fight to beat them because up until Bruce got on them at halftime, it was a close game. And honestly, I was a little worried, especially after what happened last year against Yale,
Yes.
Oof, there was so much panic. I was sweating bullets. I thought for sure it was just going to be rough. But Johni Broome had a pretty decent game, 14 points, 11 rebounds. As soon as he touched the ball, they were doubling him. And he had 3 turnovers. It was very uncharacteristic. The 3 turnovers were ones where one of the Auburn players was coming off of the screen that Johni was setting with the ball, and the Alabama State defender was right behind him and then would just swap the ball away from Broome. And it was a little frustrating, but Alabama State was smaller. They didn't have anybody that could match up with our bigs. And at the same time, though, they were fast, and you could tell that they were hungry. That their one guy, what was his name? Let's look it up real quick. Sorry. Amar Knox. That dude can flat out play. Okay. He's at Alabama State, but that dude can flat out play. And so he had 18 points and was really the only person on Alabama State that was getting anything consistently. But all in all, we came away with the win by 20 points. Everybody felt kind of good. Everybody felt a lot more confident, but at the same time, we were still worried because Creighton was our next opponent, and they just got done curb stomping Louisville.
I mean, You guys, not you guys, you specifically were worried about Louisville, especially with it being in Lexington.
Yeah.
I know I didn't say it on camera last week, but I know I texted you and talked to you multiple times saying Louisville is not something to worry about. Creighton is something to worry about.
Yeah.
And I even on my bracket, I have Creighton winning over Louisville, and Louisville did not scare me. Creighton scared me, and they gave us real reason to panic in this game, especially in the first half.
Yeah. First half, they shot lights out from behind the arc. They shot 64% from behind the arc in the first half, Josh. I honestly
Who the hell does that?
Did not see that coming. With how
That is
good been the
crazy.
three, I did not see that coming.
9 3-points, and they were shooting 64%. We knew it. They couldn't keep it up all game, but for them to have a 2-point lead going into halftime against the number 1 overall seed, I think that had everybody shocked.
Yeah, and Stephen Ashworth had a really good first half, and so did that freshman. He scored 12 points, and then in the second half he really didn't score anything. Auburn was able to do a good job against Neal and really ran him off of the 3-point line. He didn't ever really get anything going. He was 2 of 5 from 3-point and really couldn't get freed up. This down the stretch, it started out with Chad Baker-Mazara just took over at one point after halftime, and like Chad did an interview. He did an interview after the game and was like, hey, they shot lights out. They shot 9 threes. They shot 64%. And at halftime, it was still a 2-point game. And it wasn't like Auburn was leaving them open either. They were just great shots. I mean, they were making buckets, And so Chad was like, we just knew we needed to keep doing what we're doing. And at the same time, Creighton doesn't play too many people.
No, they're starting 6 or they're starting 5 is their entire roster, except for Zugic, whatever his name is. Besides him, Zugic was the only non-starter to play with double-digit minutes. Everyone else didn't have more than 4.
Yeah,
I mean, their starting 5 is their entire roster, and ultimately that's what it came down to being their downfall.
Yeah,
but. Shit, dude, this game was crazy. I was watching Locked on Auburn after the Alabama State game and after Creighton was who were going to play, and Daryl Dapper said that Auburn needs to shoot. No, Zach Blackerby said that Auburn needs to shoot over 70% of their free throws to win the game. Auburn shot 71% from the free throw line and won by 12. We hit 15 free throws and won by 12. And it just goes to show that free throws are probably the most important stat in March Madness. If you're not hitting your free throws, you're not winning the games. And if you don't have Tahad Pettiford, you're not winning games either.
Yeah. After Chad went out, it was Denver Jones and Tahad Pettiford. Tahad Pettiford just he welcomed himself to the rest of the nation and said, "Hey guys, I'm here."
No kidding.
We're not just about Johni Broome. We're not just about Chad Baker-Mazara. We're not just about Miles Kelly. This is Tahad. Tahad gave us 32 minutes. There was a point in the game where because Chad went out, it looked like they slid Miles Kelly to the 3. And because also Chris Moore wasn't available either. So they slid Miles Kelly to the 3, Denver to the 2, and then just let Tahad run the show. And boy, did he run the show. The dude put the team on his back. And granted, we were feeling it. We were up. We were doing good. So we didn't need him to save us in that sense. But without his efforts and without what he did in facilitating the team, we don't win that game.
No, not at all. I mean, you had to have Tahad, especially with, like you said, Chad Baker-Mazara going down early in the second half after scoring what seemed like 50 quick points. But it's nice having such a young guy on our team that has the composure of a senior. Yeah. It's so nice having that when we didn't have that level of maturity from a young guy on our roster last year. It's just
no, we did not.
breath of fresh
who was
air.
it that you were talking about? What young guy?
Oh, Aiden Holloway.
Aiden Holloway. Okay, the hate continues for Aiden Holloway.
Always until he's gone.
So, but the thing is Tahad led all scorers in the game. He had 6 rebounds, 3 assists. So he tied our leading assist man. But at the same time, and I don't have a picture here, but Dylan Cardwell is your MVP 2.0. That dude left everything out there.
Everything.
He took over in the beginning of the game. He took over before the game. He took over at different points in this game and just refused to let anybody score on him. And it didn't matter if you were a guard, he stayed in front of you. It didn't matter if you were, what's his name? Kalkbrenner or whatever.
Kalkbrenner.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Dylan Cardwell was a dude. He had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 1 steal. But it goes to show how locked in he was. He had 2 personal fouls, Josh. 2 personal fouls.
That is so uncharacteristic.
It is. It is. And one of the personal fouls, I remember thinking at the time, okay, what is this BS?
Yeah, there was a couple of them where it was a bunch of crap, but for the most part, I really do agree with you. I think Ryan Kalkbrenner for Creighton probably had the quietest 18 points I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because Dylan Cardwell affected his game so much.
Yeah. And the thing is in the second half, we just refused. Now this was the thing that the commentators kept saying it. In the first half, Creighton scores 3s, and that allows them to dish it down low in the second half. The difference is Auburn actually plays defense, and they let Kalkbrenner get points. They let him get his points. They weren't going to let you shoot a 3. How many 3s did they finish the game with afterwards?
27
12.
3-point shots.
Yeah, but only made 12.
3 in the second half.
That's the thing. Our defense, we locked down. We let Kalkbrenner get whatever he wanted because it didn't matter. It did not matter.
It really didn't. They over half of their total shots in the game were from behind the arc. Bruce Pearl said at halftime, they can beat us from the 3-point line. They cannot from 2. And they took 27 3-point shots. Auburn took 19. They had 53 total shots. Auburn had 64. Over half of Creighton's shots were behind the arc. And it really goes to show they cannot beat you from 2 because they had 12 3-point makes and only 25 total field goals. They had 13 2-point shot makes.
Yep.
Out of the 53 total shots they had.
Now, Josh, we mentioned Johni Broome a little bit in this game. Had a fantastic rebounding game, but he continues to be the other team's defensive focus, and he really didn't get going in this game. Finished with 8 points, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 1 assist, and 12 rebounds. It's a little alarming to me that the National Player of the Year he has games where he just does not have it. Somebody has his number, or he looks lethargic. He looks like he's not getting any touch on the ball. And we texted each other early in this game, and that was pretty much what we talked about. He wasn't getting any touch on the ball. And the other thing is, at the same time, I mentioned to you that his shot when he's coming at the basket, when he's in front of the basket, seems to never fall. It seems to hit the front of the rim or the back of the rim, and it never falls. And it seemed like he was taking a lot of those shots. And then he also took 4 3-point shots and was over 4. They're
leaving them open.
Terrible.
They're leaving them open behind the arc, and we all know Johni can hit the 3. We all know that he's done it.
Yeah.
And so he is a legitimate threat from behind the arc, but for whatever reason, he's just in this shooting slump. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he can come back versus Michigan. We'll see that on Friday, but I do agree there is some concern to be had with his performance the last stretch of the season and into March Madness. It's very uncharacteristic. And to be honest, it's got me thinking that he's no longer the player of the year, because you don't see Cooper
agree.
Flagg having this type of backstep. It's just whatever it is, they've had almost a week to figure it out by the time we play Michigan, and hopefully they've gotten some kinks just worked out and these knots untwined, and we see a better outing from Johni Broome versus the number 5 seed in Michigan. But this team is so deep. Whenever our best player is getting locked up like this, like he was against Creighton, it just goes to show that we have so many more weapons that you cannot afford to continue to do this versus Broome if you want to continue dancing. It's just not going to work out for you defensively if you continue to do this versus one player on a team of 6 dogs. Auburn has 6 legitimate dogs on their team.
Yeah.
And if you're focusing on one, the others are going to bite you.
And I'd say we actually have 7 because I'm counting Chaney Johnson as a dog because the dude has it.
Well,
he had
in terms of scoring, I was already counting Chaney. I was just leaving out Dylan Cardwell as a scoring dog is what I was referring to.
Okay, that's true. That's true. But Dylan is a dog. I don't care what you say. He's a dog.
He is a dog, yes. But I was speaking in terms of scoring. Okay,
gotcha. So the thing is like we've seen Johni Broome check out at different points in this year. The one that comes to mind that was the most detrimental, I feel like, was the Florida game. But he didn't check out in this game. He was very engaged on the defensive end. He affected the game on the defensive end. And honestly, his demeanor stayed positive. He stayed engaged. He stayed communicating with his teammates. And so I never really thought that, hey, Johni Broome is being detrimental to the team during this game, because he wasn't. He was doing everything he was supposed to do outside of scoring. Let's just be honest here. So he makes 4 of 13. Yes, we need his scoring, but he did everything else. No, his assist numbers didn't match what he usually does, but I truly believe that he gave what we needed in this game, and the guards stepped up. We've said it many times. When it comes to March Madness, you have to have good guard play, and if you don't, it's going to cost you. And so that leads us to our next topic, Joss. Are our guards good enough to continue to carry us through the rest of the tournament? Because Johni Broome is going to get everybody's best. The page is out on him. Everybody knows what to do to force him to take bad shots. They know how to defend him. But are our guards good enough to carry this team if Johni Broome continues to struggle on the offensive end?
I would say they definitely are. We have probably one of the most underrated defenders in the entire league in Denver Jones as our guard. We have Todd Pettiford, certified baller, as one of our guards, and Miles Kelly and Chad Baker-Mazara, they're kind of forward guard flexes. So, I mean, I really do think our guards are probably among the best in the league in terms of depth and overall talent. So I truly do believe.
That's the big difference between last year's team and this year's team. Bruce Pearl realized, okay, I don't have the guard play that I need. And he went out, he got Todd Pettiford, and then he also went and got Miles Kelly. He thought he had JP Pegues. We thought we were going to be able to have that, but it is what it is. So he went out and replaced the guards that he was losing and replaced them with Todd Pettiford and Miles Kelly, who have both individually won us several games this year. You cannot say the same thing about Trey Donaldson or what's his other face? Oh man,
Wolf.
It starts with no. Aiden Holloway. That's who. You can't say that. You can't say that about these guys.
No.
Our guys that we have are going to win us games, and Denver Jones he's playing better as a point guard than he did a shooting guard last year. I liked him as a shooting guard last year. I thought he was a really good player, but he has clearly stepped up, and he knows how to finish. And you mentioned it earlier. We got to the foul line and we made our free throw shots in the Creighton game. That was because our guards were driving to the basket and getting fouled.
Yeah, I mean, we finally have refs that are actually, watching the game rather than, keeping stats on their own paper
Yeah.
in terms of how many fouls they've called. But I mean, it's nice seeing Auburn getting the attention that all of us knew they deserved the entire season. It kind of does suck that we're getting the attention and not hitting the shots, but it looks like that could be turning around from Creighton, and hopefully it carries on, Sweet 16 forward. But yes, in terms of guard matchups among the rest of the league, Auburn definitely does have the guys to continue to push forward over. I'll take Auburn guards over everybody left in the league. Everybody. It's not even close.
Well, okay. So are there better guards out there? Yes. Are there people that I wish that we had? Yes. But like you said, I like the dogs that we do have. I like what Miles brings. I love what Chad brings. He plays on that razor edge. Call God, baby. And I love what Todd Pettiford.
It's the chemistry, man. It's the chemistry among the Auburn players. And I've watched a lot of college ball this year. I do not see other guards communicating the way they do with their forwards and centers in the game. Auburn guards are constantly in constant communication with their teammates. It's just there's a night and day difference when it comes to that. And it's the chemistry that I take over everybody else. Like you said, there are more skillful players. There are better guards out there. But overall, Auburn guards over everybody else.
Yep. Amen to that, brother. So next up, we have in the Sweet 16 matchup, the matchup every Auburn fan really wanted because we didn't want anything to do with Texas A&M. A majority of the fan base didn't want anything to do with Texas A&M. But so we got the matchup we wanted. We're going to be playing Michigan on the 28th. That is Friday night. It's going to be a late game, 8:39 Central Time on CBS. So it's going to be the late game. So everybody is going to be watching this game. Everybody's going to be at home, ready to see what happens. And Josh, can you name a couple of the storylines that we have for this game? I only believe there's a couple. that
Trey Donaldson, starting point guard for Michigan. Guess where he played last year? Auburn. Their starting center. Guess where he played last year? Yale.
Yep.
Screw that guy. That guy can friggin' ball. I really like his game. He averages 13 points a game and almost 10 rebounds a game. The dude's a friggin' baller. So Michigan is not going to be easy by any means, but I think we have the front and back court to take care of business.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, you talked about it. Trey Donaldson is he's playing over 30 minutes a game. He left Auburn because he wanted a guaranteed starting position. He wanted to play more. And you can't fault a guy for that.
No.
Plus, he didn't go out there and badmouth the coach and say that he was promised something that he wasn't given. And he's also on the defensive end. He also tries. Unlike someone I know who. Wow, why does his name keep escaping?
What are you talking about?
Aiden Holloway. That's right. My bad.
Bum. Certified bum.
Yep. So again, like you mentioned, we're playing Danny Wolf. We played Danny Wolf last year in the Yale game, and honestly, he really didn't hurt us that bad. He had 13 points, only had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and so Johni Broome and Dylan Cardwell did a good job at shutting him down last year. The problem is this year, it's not just him down low. It is Danny Wolf and Golden. You know, they're your power forward center combo. Both of them are over 7 feet. Both of them are monsters down there. And so Dylan Cardwell, he had a game against Creighton, and he did great things against Creighton. He's going to have to play even better against Michigan, I think, because their bigs are amazing. The offense, the team runs through those bigs and Trey Donaldson. So,
yes.
So Josh, how worried are you on this? let's just see how you feel.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I think my worry level is about a 4.
Okay. So I think Josh is frozen right now. But you said your worry level is a 4. I personally am a little bit more worried than that. I feel like Michigan is on a tear right now. They won their conference. Okay. They were able to go through and they finished strong on the year, and they're starting to play really well. Now, this is a Michigan team that does turn the ball over quite a bit. And so that in that sense, I feel good about that. Let's see here. How many turnovers did they have in the title game? They only had 8 turnovers in the title game, but at the same time, I feel like we can get them to turn the ball over. Josh, are you back with us? Nope, Josh has just dropped out. So the thing is I feel like if we are smart with the ball and we're attacking like we're supposed to. Here we go, Josh. How are you doing? You back with us?
I'm doing good, man. I moved. I moved this past week, which is why I've had these technical difficulties.
Yes.
I'm in this back room where we're in our new place, and I guess the internet isn't as strong as I'm used to, and so I guess I need to get an internet booster.
Something, man. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We've been in worse situations before. It's not going to be that big of a deal. But Trey Donaldson, I'm worried because he also he scores buckets at opportune moments. We've seen him in the tournament drive the lane, get fouled, and make a difference for Auburn when he was here. And so I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie, Josh. I'm a little worried. Why are you only at a 4?
Like I said, I think Michigan is they're really good. I really do think so. If I remember correctly, they got beat by Michigan State earlier in the year, correct? It wasn't even close, right?
Let me look.
As if so, I mean, I've watched Michigan State in this tournament. I've not been impressed with them, and I honestly haven't really been impressed with Michigan other than the Texas A&M game. I feel like Michigan really, buckled down and played really good against Texas A&M. And so that's why I said I'm teetering around the 4 to 5 mark on a scale of 1 to 10 in my worry meter.
Okay, so Michigan's only loss to a non-tournament team was against Wake Forest, the second game of the season. Outside of that, they lost to Arkansas, lost to Oklahoma, lost to Minnesota. Oh, and Minnesota. Sorry, Minnesota is not a tournament team. Lost to Purdue and lost to Michigan State twice. Lost to Illinois, Maryland, and then Michigan State again. And
so what were
really
the scores
none of them were
the Michigan State games and Maryland game?
79-62 in the Michigan State. The other Michigan State loss, it was, where did it go? 75-62 and 79-62. And then the Maryland game was 71-65.
Okay. Yeah, I really haven't been impressed with Maryland whatsoever this entire tournament. I think their offense has been just atrocious. And if Maryland played like that for the rest of Michigan, I think, a lot of people, they don't believe in transitive property. I believe this is a little different than transitive property. I feel like this is more statistical.
Yeah, Josh is continuing to have technical difficulties. The thing, like he's talking about, I'm totally understand where he's coming from on that. But this team is on a 5-game winning streak. They finish strong. We've seen what happens when a team finishes strong. We saw this in the 2019 team, for Auburn team. You can get on a roll and just play basketball, and they're winning. And Auburn, we've only seen them really fully engaged the second half of the Creighton game. So I'm interested to see what happens. There's plenty of storylines, Danny Wolf and Trey Donaldson just being 2 of them. It should be a good game, but I wholeheartedly believe that Auburn can win this game, especially the fact that it is being played in Atlanta and on Friday night. So we should have a really good turnout there. Josh, before we get out of here, let's remind the folks, use our affiliate link below. Go to fanatics.com, and it's actually this way, Josh, because it's reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I did the wrong thing. Nope. You're still on the other side. Got to go over there. It is.
On my screen, it's right here, dude.
Really interesting. Yeah. We'll have to see how it goes whenever we upload this. But use our affiliate link below. Get yourself some new Auburn gear. But Josh, until next time, man, hopefully the next episode we are both celebrating the Sweet 16 victory, headed to the Elite Eight. War Damn Eagle, Josh.
War Damn Eagle.
Johnson goes to deny. Step back. Big play.
It's got you here.
Jones doesn't go. The tip by Broome. Up ahead, Harper.